Welcome back to the On the Pony Express podcast. I'm Dean Ralsky, joined by the main man himself, Mac Lain of ACC Network. How are you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm kind of looking around like, where the heck is Billy? He's slacking. Billy, wake up. We're at ACC media. No, I think he's going to see his guys. But it's been a fun day, man, and it was a little bit of buzz when the ponies walked in the room and some excitement. We saw all those guys out at dinner last night, and they looked fantastic, and they've looked great today. So I'll be there in 2 weeks and can't wait to see it for myself.
Let's start with the big news for ACC Network today. Jimbo Fisher joining the crew. Just what does that mean for ACC Network?
Yeah, we're excited. I haven't had the privilege to interact much. We've gone against each other as competitors, but EJ Manuel, a brother of mine that obviously played for Coach Jimbo Fisher there, and just say he's a firecracker. Get ready, which is great, and I hope he provides a kind of a new element for us. On the network and just a big personality that I'm excited to see what he brings and excited to work with him.
And speaking of announcements, ACC Huddle announced their first 3 stops for the regular season.
Yeah.
All big games, a couple of which for the Clemson Tigers. We'll talk about Clemson in a second, but how exciting. It feels like the ACC just has a bunch of big-time out-of-conference games at the start of the year.
I can't overemphasize how massive this is for us, personally, professionally, as a network, for us to expand and detach ourselves from the primetime game to truly go to the most impactful, biggest, most important ACC game each week. It's monumentous, for this league, for our fans. For the league to be able to display this product and those fans at that site at a whole new level. And so, I hope that continues to drive awareness for this network, for our show, continues to push, just the messaging for the conference. And, it is a simple sell. It is an easy sell when you look at those games that we will be a part of, where we are going to be, and, what I think that's going to do for our network. So I have to give so much credit to our leadership for making that change and, making this a thing where, we're going to be at a big show and we're the big show coming to that town.
And 2 of those first 3 games will be watching the Clemson Tigers. For you as a Clemson guy, how are you balancing the excitement but also the nerves knowing you've got some real competition in the first few weeks of the season?
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity for Clemson. I think at the end of the day, if they are who we think they are, they'll handle business. And it's one of those things where Clemson has to get back to winning those type of games. You look at the last couple of years, they quite haven't been able to do that. What we really made our bread and butter on when I was playing and for the couple of years after that, where they win those massive games. They beat the Ohio States, the Georgias, the Alabamas. And, these last couple of years, haven't been able to capture that lightning fully in a bottle and expect them to get back to that. So a great opportunity for them and for us to be able to be at the same game they are.
And another big game that'll be in conference play is when the SMU Mustangs travel to Clemson to take on the Tigers.
You making the trip?
Oh, yeah,
Come
absolutely, absolutely. And so can you just give some SMU fans some perspective as to what that Death Valley experience is like?
Oh, come on. I'll give you the whole thing. So we do barbecue a little differently. You guys like cows. We like pigs. So ribs, barbecue kind of off the bone there, pulled, and it's a great experience. So you've got to go to a couple of different spots there, the Smoking Pig being the one. They don't do reservations. Show up, stand in line. We'll show you how some Carolina barbecue is. It's very different. It's not even comparable, to Texas. Texas, you win your thing, we win our thing. But that's going to be fun. And the tailgating environment, it is unlike many in the entire country. So they'll welcome you with open arms. They'll let you have a beer, sit down, have some food. But then when we get in that stadium, it's go time. And it's called Death Valley for a reason. I assume that game will probably be at night. Maybe game day will be there. Who knows? Maybe we'll be back. Yep. It's going to be a fascinating environment and, something where obviously SMU got a taste of that at Happy Valley last year. And, you want your team to operate in those type of games as they do any. So a unique challenge that SMU I know will be ready for.
And we'll end on some SMU football now. Just what do you see? I know you've talked about on the Gramlich and Mac Lain podcast. Great podcast.
Thank you.
If you haven't watched it yet, you're missing out. But you've talked about the importance of bringing back the coaching staff and Kevin Jennings. Where do you see that? Do you think SMU is able to get back to that level? And what do you see as some of the strengths and even the weaknesses? Where do you see this team?
Yeah, well, I think the unquestioned strength of the team is Kevin Jennings. You know, I think that he is such a dynamic player, and it's fascinating. You know, we just talked to Coach Lashley a couple days ago. That will come out when we get closer to kickoff. Just about kind of the disrespect that is there for him. I mean, I remember after the Clemson game, this guy was going to win the Heisman, everybody said. And then, you know, the Penn State game happens, and they're like, he's not that good, which I think is ludicrous. He is an amazing talent. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. And now he's been the guy for a full offseason. There's something to that, and the growth that I believe we're going to see from him is electric. I love your safeties. I think they're a dynamic duo, maybe as best as it comes in the country. I think the tight end room is the best tight end room in the country when you look at what those two can provide when healthy, of course. And then some question marks. Just when you lose whatever it was, 1,400 yards, maybe more, from Bashard Smith, that's a big deal. That's something that isn't just replaced by one guy, probably. So does Derek McFall step up? Do a couple of the transfers step up? Who do you really feel like can make that type of production? And do you like it better that it's not just coming from one guy? You lost some key receivers, got some young guys that are really ready to go that I'm excited about. And then, Coach Lashley was pretty adamant a couple of minutes ago on the huddle here that their defensive line is going to be okay. He went out and got some guys. You lose a ton production, a ton of leadership. So it's a fair question. They know what he has. They see it every day. We don't. And so I am very interested to see what does that defensive line look like and how are they able to produce.
And I will add, too, Coach Lashley said today, R.J. Maryland and Matthew Hibner on track to be ready to go for the start of the season. So exciting times for SMU, exciting times for the On the Pony Express podcast. From Eric Mac Lain, I'm Dean Ralsky. Thank you for watching.